The New York Jets had their meeting with free agent quarterback Derek Carr this past week, and in that meeting, their pitch to him was win a Super Bowl and you will become a Hall of Famer. That's a lofty goal anyway for the New York Jets. Of course, every team wants to win the Super Bowl, but let's be realistic. The weapons on the outside are still young, improving, but young. That defense also very, very stout. It seems like they're a quarterback away. When you look at Derek Carr, he's a very accurate quarterback, but nobody's ever accused him of being a top five quarterback in the NFL. And it's very curious to see the Jets go out there and say that just one Super Bowl would make him a Hall of Famer. Sorry, let's go ahead and just halt the horses right there. Just one Super Bowl in New York, sure. Winning a Super Bowl in New York means a lot more. It seems like to a lot of the New York media, etc. I get all that, but we're talking about one Super Bowl and that making you a Hall of Fame quarterback. There are quarterbacks out there right now who have won a Super Bowl before at other locations and are not in the Hall of Fame. So let's go ahead and throw that one out the door right now. The Jets by themselves are a good location for Derek Carr to go. I'm not necessarily sold on the fact that this being an argument in the case of the Jets, being an argument that says, hey, this is a realistic goal you should have once you come to the New York Jets, is, hey, if you win that Super Bowl, you should expect to be in the Hall of Fame. I think that's just way too lofty of a goal for the Jets to even place on a quarterback of their own that they would really like to have. But for Derek Carr to come into the organization, I think he's looking at other things besides just the possibility of making the Hall of Fame. I think he's looking at the ability to perform on the offensive side of the ball. How do his weapons look? And the Jets do have some nice weapons on the outside, improving weapons anyway. You got the return of Breece Hall next year. He looked like he was going to be the Offensive Rookie of the Year before his teammate took over the award after Hall went down injured. On the defensive side of the ball, they have Sauce Gardner on the outside. They have some good defensive linemen up front. They're still looking to improve that pass rush as well. So keep your eyes peeled for what the Jets decide to do. But the Jets are looking to spend here in free agency at the quarterback spot. It does seem like they're a quarterback away from possibly being in contention, not just for the AFC, but for a possible Super Bowl. The question is Derek Carr the right quarterback for them, or do they need to go big game hunting for, say, like Aaron Rodgers or Lamar Jackson, pieces like that? They did bring in Nathaniel Hackett to be their offensive coordinator. He, of course, has the ties to Aaron Rodgers from his time in Green Bay. His first year as head coach did not go well, to say it nicely anyway, for the Denver Broncos. Just an absolute dumpster fire of a season. Just absolutely did not have the chops anyway to be a head coach in this league. They literally took away his duties as a head coach the moment he got there, pretty much. They hired a guy to manage the clock. They hired somebody to take over the play calling duties. By the end of the season, you're looking at Nathaniel Hackett and saying, what exactly do you do around here? I mean, toss the challenge flag? That's about it. That was his only real responsibility by the end of the season, and so he was out the door. So the question is he able to get back to the play calling ways that he had with Aaron Rodgers? Do they bring in Aaron Rodgers since they did have some chemistry there in Green Bay? Do they go with a Lamar Jackson, another high upside quarterback? However, you do have to worry about injury risks with Lamar Jackson. He hasn't been able to finish the season the last couple of years, missed the majority of the end of the season last year, and there was some talk that he was just sitting out in order to gain or to make sure he got his money. Understand all that, but we're talking about the NFL here, and teams want to see you available and performing, injured or not. As bad as that sounds, that's what they expect out of their players. You got a tough knee injury that's being a little balky. See if you can go ahead and play with it. If you can play, get on the field. If you can't, that's understandable. But if you're able to tough it out, that's what the NFL is all about. Being able to tough through some of the injuries other players in other sports might not be willing to push through. Now, if you're clearly injured, that's completely different. Not saying anything about that. But I'm saying for a guy like Lamar Jackson, who clearly looked like he was going to be healthy in about 3 weeks, was pretty much coming off of the injury report a couple weeks before the end of the season, and then it just seemed like everything just went backward. He didn't want to be around the team. He said, the injury's just still a little balky. And if that's the case, so be it. But the team was pretty clear in the thought process that it wasn't necessarily the injury that was keeping him away from the team. It was the fact that he wasn't going to be able to secure his money if he suffered another injury after the season. So we'll see what ends up happening with the Jets quarterback situation. Derek Carr is one of the most reliable starting quarterbacks on the market this year. He's looking for a $35+ million contract this year. The Jets should be able to afford that kind of money at the quarterback spot. They don't really have anything going there at that spot right now. They tried the draft route going after Zach Wilson. They had an old veteran anyway in Joe Flacco. We'll see what their quarterback rotation looks like next year. But for me, they absolutely have to get one of the free agent quarterbacks out there, whether it be Jimmy Garoppolo, whether it be Derek Carr, whether it be Lamar Jackson, whether they go the trade route for an Aaron Rodgers. They have to improve that quarterback spot first and foremost for the New York Jets. Let us know in the comments section what you think about the possibility of Derek Carr going to the Jets is. What do you think about all the other opportunities that they have on the market right now? Do they go after an Aaron Rodgers, a Jimmy Garoppolo? Do they go after a Lamar Jackson? Let us know in the comments section who you think fits best in that New York Jets offense now that Nathaniel Hackett has been hired as their offensive coordinator. And of course, as you see right above me, is he really going to win a Super Bowl with the Jets? And if he does he automatically become a Hall of Famer? I think we can clearly say that's not going to happen, at least the way things look right now. Now, of course, any Super Bowl or any quarterback out there, if you win multiple Super Bowls, you have a very high likelihood of making the Hall of Fame. I understand all of that. And with the level of defense that they're building there with the New York Jets, if they get competent quarterback play, somebody who doesn't turn over the ball all the time and is able to churn out first down after first down after first down, they could really have something. But the question is, are they able to do that on a consistent basis? And especially in a very tough AFC, you're talking about going through Patrick Mahomes, you're talking about going through Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Justin Herbert. There's a lot of good, high-quality quarterbacks out there in the AFC. And then you have to, of course, win the big game at the end of the season. But let us know in the comments section what you think about the possibility of Derek Carr becoming not only a Super Bowl champion, but a Hall of Famer as the Jets starting quarterback. We'll see if that ultimately happens. But thank you guys for joining us here at the Upside. We'll keep you guys up to date on all the latest from the NFL NFL offseason and let you guys know what's going on around the Jets quarterback situation. Thank you guys for joining us, and thank you guys for hitting that subscribe button.